Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Melbourne, Australia. And today I am going to be making a project from a new suite that's in the annual catalog that debuts on May 1st. This is the cover. I cannot show you the inside yet, but if you are in Australia and you would like a hard copy of the catalog and you aren't working with a demonstrator or you'd like to switch to me as your demonstrator, I would be happy to help you. Drop me a line at nancysniftynotes.com. That would be Nancy at nancysniftynotes.com, and I will get you one of these. I ordered mine yesterday. Demonstrators can pre-order a select number of products from this catalog a month early, and I did that yesterday in addition to the products that I was able to order for having attended the Onstage Live last month. So today I'm going to be using the Take to the Sky suite, which includes this Adventurous Sky stamp set and die bundle. These are really cool. I'm excited to use these. And some great designer series paper. We would call this a more masculine suite, probably. I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's really cool, so I don't know that it's really, really masculine, but I think it's got some great things. Let me show you the colors that are in it. So it's got boho blue, copper clay, mossy meadow, night of navy, and smoky slate, which nice. I don't know, I call it warm, although these are kind of cool colors. But anyway, I think it's the colors work well together. Let me show you the papers. So this one, it's got a bunch of biplanes. So there's that one, and there's the reverse side. Let me pick these up, that might be easier. Get these all set here. So that's one sheet. So each sheet has a really themed sheet with this is a map, so the aviation theme map or chart, and then a more neutral pattern. In other words, it's good for almost anything. Love that one. Again, the biplanes in Mossy Meadow. And hello, Paula and Gladys. Thanks for joining me today. Gladys, have you turned into winter again the last couple days? Last day or so? This one is like riveted metal panels for the side of a plane. And the back side are these lovely cloud images. And then there's a smoky slate and white plaid. And then these colored biplanes. With topographical map on the back. Love that too. And then there's one sheet. We've had this in another designer series paper or two. What was it? The Fresh as a Daisy, where it's pre-printed on one side where you can cut it all up, and then there's another chart on the back. And I went ahead and I cut this one up already. So when you cut it, the way they've got it, you get, I'm going to move these out of the way so we can see here. These that you can layer up as they're tag-shaped pieces. Ugh. My fingers are a little cold this morning. We are definitely in autumn now, and it's quite cool this morning. I had the windows open, and it's very fresh and crisp. And then these pieces, which will be fun to layer up, and then there's one bigger one. So those are going to be fun to play with. And like I said, I went ahead and just cut it up the way they intended it, and then I can pull them out and use them. And in fact, I'm going to use this one today. So I've planned a lot of this card out, which I think is always useful, but there's going to be some decisions to be made along the way, which is fun. So I cut a piece of that first page that I showed you, the blue biplanes, with the copper clay plaid on the back, and I've cut it to make my first, when it's combined with this piece that I cut out of that printed one that's designed to be cut up, to make a full layer on the front. And I've made a copper clay card base, and then when I use these, you can go ahead and just glue them on there, but I find the easiest way to do it so that I know they're really well lined up, and I've probably shown you this before, but in case there are new people watching, I like to turn it over and I like to butt them up against each other and get it as straight and even as possible. And just a little bit of what here in Australia we call sticky tape. In the US we call Scotch tape. And now I've got one well-aligned piece of paper to layer on, and I think that's easier to handle. So I'm going to go ahead and layer that on. And I like the liquid glue, and it takes just a thin bead. And I particularly like it because it gives me a moment to adjust it if I need to, get it straight and centered. I get a little bit of glue oozing out, I use my adhesive eraser and just rub it off. So there's that, ready to go. And I am going to add this biplane on there. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. I'm going to stamp a couple of them. So I'm going to color with some Stampin' Blends markers. And these are our alcohol ink markers. And when you're using alcohol ink to color, you want to use water-based ink to stamp so they don't bleed. And normally I would use Memento Tuxedo Black. That's the go-to. But I think the black would be kind of harsh. So So my first thought was to use copper clay, but I'm worried that the copper clay ink, I'm going to go like that, may not show up so well when I color in with copper clay blends. So I'm going to try a couple others too. Ink is cheap. I can get all three, I think, on this scrap of paper. just for a quick test, I think it's worth giving it a try. This is pecan pie, and I have a feeling that's not going to be quite right. And I'm not going to get all three of them on there, but that's okay. I have another piece of scrap. Clean that a little bit. And that is early espresso. And I think that I'm hemming and hawing because I think in a lot of ways that reads kind of like the black. It's very dark, but it is softer than the straight black. So let's give this a little bit of a color and see what we like. I'm going to start here with the pecan pie. And this is, actually, let me show you this. So before we started here, I did a little color swatch with some of my blends to see what colors were going to work well with this. This is so much copper clay. And obviously, here's copper clay light and dark. I'm definitely using those. Then I pulled in the Calypso Coral, and those are not right. But we have that whole Naturals line. So this is light, and medium, deep light. And I think those could work. This is pretty close to those, but it's kind of in between those two. It's a little bit less orange. And then I brought in, you know, this background color kind of looked like petal pink to me, but that's too orange. So I'm not using Calypso Coral, either shade, and I'm not using petal pink, either color. So we'll get rid of those. But there's my swatches to try. And I'm going to bring in some of this light light is what it's called, just to put down kind of a base. And I'm going to add a little bit of the copper clay light, I think, and see how that looks. And I'm not sure why. I thought I wanted to have that light under there, but I did it, so. And I'm going to do the same thing over here and see. You see how the copper clay on copper clay, it just all blends in a little too much, I think. Well, maybe not. I'm looking here and that pecan pie kind of blends in too. I know the lighting isn't great for you guys to see. I will hold it up here in a minute. So here's the early espresso. And that may be the winner. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can make this so you can see it better. Oh, too close? Yes, a little too, there we go. There's that one, and there's with the early espresso. Trying to get it to focus here. Oh my. There we go. Let's keep going with this one, for the time being at least. Sometimes it's hard to see what's what in the design. So, what's happening with you guys? Sorry, I got concentrating on staying in the lines. It's hard to chit-chat. Okay, so that's my base. I suppose that needs some too, doesn't it? Come in here with the light now. To be back where the propeller is whirring. Bring in some dark to get a couple spots. And it's not a dramatic difference, but it's enough to add a little bit of, not contrast, but contour. Oh my. Charlie, I can hear him complaining. He hasn't been for a walk yet this morning. And I don't, know. I'm probably overthinking this. This is the medium deep light. Now, those are weird names. They also put numbers on them, which I think is helpful. It's kind of the way Copic does. But I think it's adding, again, a little depth maybe to it. I don't know. The whole thing may just be a hot mess. What do you think? And it's got a coordinating die, so I am going to cut that out, and I will be right back, and then you'll see how we're going to layer up this card. Okay, so there is that. And I am going to bring in now some more things, because I'm going to take advantage of having a new set to once again show you a couple ways to put the stickers on the back of your cling stamps, the red rubber cling stamps. The way Stampin' Up! Recommends you do it is to pull the tabs off this side, the backing sheets, and then take your stamp and align it on the sticker and lift up, which on a good day I find does work, and I have started doing that again, but I also find sometimes I'm having a lot of trouble getting things to align, and so then I pull the whole sticker off, and you keep track of which side is which by keeping that backing paper on until you put it on a block. Make sure you've got the really sticky side, because they're both sticky, but this side is designed to stick forever on your stamp, and the other side is temporary on your block. And then line up your block, your sticker with the stamp. And sometimes I find this to be easier and more accurate. So you could do it either way. Now, I am going to figure out which sentiment I want. This one has, "You always lift me up. To my friend, happiest Father's Day. You're the best, plain and simple," spelled Plane, cute. "Flying by to say hi," and "happy birthday." And I think I'm going to use "flying by to say hi." Pull out a block for that. And I am going to stamp it on first, kind of right there. And then, oh, I still need that. And then I've got a piece of used grid paper. And I am going to bring in these cloud stamps. And stamp them. I think that's what I wanted to do, actually. Okay, we're going to turn that over and we're going to do it again. This is what happens when I told you there's going to be some choices to be made. Okay, so there's "flying by to say hi." And then I want this stamped off twice, I've determined, because I want it to be really light. And I ink it the same way each time so that I get a consistent result is the goal. Now I'm going to bring in my punch and eyeball this and see how I'm doing. Oh. That would be not even close. And I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do here. You've probably figured it out already. So I'm trying to figure out where I actually need my clouds, which I should have done kind of before, but oh well. I'm going to try it one more time because I'm still not happy with that. This is real world crafting, folks. Ugh, now that's crooked. Okay, so if that is all the way there, that's really how I wanted it. Maybe we'll just go ahead and punch it first. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, and then there's that whole stamping off thing that I wanted to do, right? Can't remember what I did, so there we go. Don't really want it to be matchy-matchy. That's better. Still some more in there. Oh my God. I got, okay, let's see how that goes. Do you see what I did right at the end? I got that edge of the stamp right there. Oh, all of those stampings, and then that very last one. And my video decided to tell me it had stopped when we all know it didn't actually stop. I just love the internet today. Okay, those all four are clean. Get that out of the way so you can see what we're doing. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of that. Let's use some minis. Piece to go here because I really don't want that bit to show through. Can you hear the dogs are wrestling out there? Change the direction of the plane. Yeah, I think it has to go like that, Annette. I don't think going like that will help, and I can't. I'm not going to redo it to swap it over. I think this will be good. I think that will work just fine. Like so. I think we need to do another bigger circle in copper clay. I've kept all of my circle punches, so you can do this with a die, but I'm going for quick and easy. Okay, add some glue on the back of that. What do we think? Do we want to go over that? Tie it together or have it up there? Did I get the gold shimmer? Annette asks. Gold shimmer. Which gold shimmer? Gold shimmer paper. If you're talking about new product, I did not get a new gold shimmer yet. Tell me what you think about that propeller color. That's that light. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that. And I'm going to put it up here. And I'm going to bring in a layer for the inside. And I think, again, I'm going to do just a bit of stamping on the inside. I've started dressing up my insides a bit more. This is a smaller version of the biplane. Yes, the dogs are playing. They're actually playing pretty quietly at the moment. Over the seam, and then I went the other way. Yeah, see, you guys got to respond faster. Hi, guys. And I'm going to leave that one, I think, uncolored. Hey. Under the desk. Out of the desk. Okay. Go. Maybe not. We'll take a minute and color that. Hi, guys. A little bit more simply colored this time. Okay. Okay, so there it is, my first card with Take to the Sky and Adventure Sky bundle. Thank you for joining me today. I will be back same time, same place next week. Again, if you want the new annual catalog, drop me a line, Nancy@nancysniftynotes.com. And I would be happy to send you one here in Australia. If you're watching me from other than Australia, demonstrators in just about every country where we do business, I'd be happy to link you up with somebody. So, same time, same place next week, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.